I want to ask you 4 questions first based on the revenue generating tracker. So question number 1, do you understand why it's important that you do tracking? Question number 2, how often do you feel that you lack the skills to do it? Because I've got loads of people who I work with and I go, oh, why have you not? And they're like, Piers, I don't understand it. So is it a skill set issue? Question number 3, how often do you think you have no idea what it looks like? Because there's so many things right now, and I realize the reason why I'm doing this video is I want to sit down and build this with you guys in a minute on this video, but I want to show you exactly what it should look like in a simple format, and then obviously you guys can add your own touch and your logos and everything to make it your own. And question number 4, when do you actually need to start tracking? Is it important that you do it from day one? Is it a habit you want to create in the business, especially if you're looking to scale? So guys, welcome to another Grow Your BnB video. Now I'd love you to comment down below, answer to those questions that I've asked you, and let's be honest about it, because it's going to help me help you further down the line making different videos. And obviously the questions and the answers are based on what I've seen with our clients, the Grow Your BnB clients who are not tracking their revenue. So the concept of a revenue tracker, it's just in a simple format. All you're doing is you're helping monitor your outgoing, your streams, and generally understand it doesn't matter, by the way, if you're watching this video and you do not do Airbnb business and you've got something else going on, it's still a product or a system in place for your business to be able to understand tracking and understand a clear picture of your financial health of your business, right? Anything I do in the business, I always go, well, why do I need to do that? And I'm sure you're thinking about that too. So let's go into the 3 things that I feel that has helped me and especially my clients understand why a revenue tracker for your Airbnb business is very important. Now let's dive into the 3 things, right? So clarity, the reason why you do it, the goal settings, why you're doing it, and lastly, decision making in the business. So let's go and kind of touch base on all the things around clarity of your business. Now, I've realized when people do revenue tracker, they sometimes go, Piers, I know what my rent is, but that is genuinely just your business cost, or that's your property cost. Alongside some of the thing that I've realized with operators has grown their business to 3, 5, and 10 properties. Then you're looking into business communication. You've got channel managers, right? You've got pricing tool. All of this costs are still a cost for the business. And yeah, for me, even a revenue generating tracker will allow you to sit down and think, okay, let me get some clarity on where is your money coming from. It also allows you, I guess, to identify your trend, because if you understand where it's coming from and what kind of booking you're coming in, and also you understand the trend of how it's coming in, it will give you a better opportunity for growth. The second reason, goal settings. What I've realized as you grow in any business is you've got the realistic financial goals, and also you've got the goals that you want to measure and like to a level that you've built a business successfully. You want to be able to be in that top tier of revenue. But at the end of the day, it is simple. It's over time process, right? Because if you do goal setting, it's never, oh, I want to achieve that by the end of next week. And let me tell you some examples of earlier days of starting GrowYourBnB. I had a couple of clients who had very few units, and my realistic goal for the business at that time was I wanted 5 people paying me £1,000. That was it, right? That was my realistic goal. And how did I go about achieving this was by breaking it down into weekly. So I was thinking, okay, well, I only need 1 customer and that's it, right? So if you now think about from, if you're, again, people watch this video for different reason, but if you're looking at a rent-to-rent option and you're going, actually, I need 1 property to make me an average of £700, then what do I need to achieve, let's say that £3,500, right, on profit? And this is why the revenue generating activity and tracking is important, because you're setting up goals, then you're breaking down that goals, right, which is very important part of the process. And the third is decision making. Now, I truly believe that when you start tracking numbers based on actual facts, you then start making decisions about either the business being scalable or either something that's holding back in the business that's not allowing to grow. And And you, myself, and there's many business owners right now who have gone, you know what, we haven't had a great sales month. And the reality goes back to what decisions did we make in that month? What did we do the right things to allow the sales to increase? Was the marketing campaign behind it the same? In your case, you're thinking going, okay, well, how can I make a decision on scaling the business? Well, I can think about scaling the property bookings that you already have. If you track, we're talking about revenue generating tracker, if you track on week 1 the amount of revenue created in your business, that will then start making you think, actually, do you know what, we've achieved the 30% revenue that we need, right, based on X amount of occupancy rate. So now you're going to go into second week going, actually, can I push that 30% revenue where we're only booked for, let's say you were booked only 4 nights out of the 7 nights? You might think, actually going, how can I achieve the extra 2 nights and take my revenue to 50%, right? And you're thinking, well, actually now I've got 2 weeks in, depending on how the week went, but you have got the option to break even or even get closer to your break even number by those 2 weeks that you've sold your, Airbnb night in your property. So it's something that later on in the video, I want to sit down and talk about how we're going to build it. And especially for your Airbnb business, there's numbers of ways we're going to track it, but it will help you very, very much in right now, especially in your decision making activities, especially if you're scaling or growing your business. So in general, people talk about, how do I create this revenue tracker? Because I've never done before, and the question I asked earlier about skill set, sometimes it's like, I don't know how to use a spreadsheet or an Excel or on a Google Drive, and it's just understanding how basic can you make. Sometimes you don't know how to do it. You can literally print it, put it next to your office desk, write down what revenue you've been doing. If that's what's going to help you track the revenue, absolutely do it. But do you know what? In today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 steps that you need to understand about generating this tracker for your business right now. So the 4 step that you need on your Airbnb business tracker, firstly, is a list of your income sources, right? So you've got Airbnb, you've got booking.com. Now people put direct bookings at general, and I'm like, that's not fair, because your direct booking is not just direct booking. You will have website, which is conversion off your website, actually through people going and booking through your website. You've got people actually calling from a website because they've found your website. You've got Google My Business or Google Vacation Rental, whatever way you're leveraging. You then have other platforms where you can potentially get some direct bookings. You have referrals, you have extensions. So you can start now thinking about the list of income sources that's bringing to your business. Step number 2, you've basically put how much and what the transaction was. It's pretty simple, right? How much was it? And it's also good to track when was it, right? Because it will give you a good time frame. Step number 3, you calculate your total revenue for the week. Now, I would do this on a weekly basis rather than a monthly. One of the biggest thing I learned, especially with Airbnb clients and service accommodation clients, I tell them, if you don't track the figure now, or in our case, if we don't do your calendar management now, at the end of the month, when you have a bad month, you've now wasted a whole month to find out you've had a bad month. Whereas if you do a calendar management every single day or week without fail, you will recognize that if you're having a bad month, you will know in day 5 that you've not had a great start. So the next 5 days, you're going to really push to make sure that you're covering what's not been done well, and you can put plans and strategies in place, right? Really good way to do in step number 3, because you're measuring. And lastly, step number 4 is just analyzing the data to see what's working and what's not. Again, effectively what we discussed earlier, that I don't want to leave your business not doing well at the end of the month going, actually, yeah, do you know what, we've had a bad month, now we've got to worry about paying the rent, paying the bills, paying the business expenses that you have, and eventually feeling that the business isn't doing that well. So guys, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and let's build this tracker together, and you can literally copy what I've done and start using in your business starting tonight. Well, right now I am on Google Drive. Now, if you're not used to using Google Drive, there's loads of video on YouTube on how to start using Google Drive, but you can see here, you can go new and you can go into Google Sheet. So we're going to use Google Sheet to create this tracker. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to start a blank sheet, and yeah, so we're going to call it revenue. I'm going to name it revenue tracker for Airbnb business. Put grow your BNB family. So I'm going to build this for you guys now, and I'm really excited because and you can see this is what I like doing. So for me, using like just general like a spreadsheet, I like doing it because I understand, and over the last few years I've taught myself to do it, right? So I can call this as a template to go. So going back to what we discussed earlier, right? So there's 4 steps that really we need to do. So I'm gonna just quickly break it down. So firstly, all we need to know is where did you get the bookings from? So that's a question, right? I can put total amount. And I can definitely remember we said we're going to do this on a week by week basis. So I'm now going to also just realize that I want to put date in there because I want to be able to track that booking in or the revenue that your business is going in, and then we can start, definitely look into further details about what's going to happen. So, or actually, do you know what? In this case, I'm going to also, I know it's probably not a part of the revenue, but it's your commission that you're paying the OTA, like Airbnb and Booking.com, right? So now I can make it look a little bit pretty. So I'm just going to quickly put some colors in there. So number 1, date, obviously whatever date it is you're working on, put that date in. Where did you get that booking from? So let's become very specific. We can call it Airbnb, right? We can call it Booking.com. We can call it direct website conversion. We can call it direct phone from website. We can say direct Google. We can say direct email to business, because sometimes people will find your email and they're going to call you straight away, or they might turn around and just call you from Google, right? I can put messages on Google, so you've now got 2 different ones. So you've got direct on call from Google. And obviously you've also got options like referrals from other operators, and I can put saying direct from other agencies, local agencies, right? Cool. So now you can see, and this is something that we said earlier, right, we can now understand where the bookings are coming from, how they come in, and stuff like that. Secondly, I can put this as a different KPI, so I can obviously now really kind of build into saying week number 1. Yeah, so I can start measuring in weekly basis. I can then go week number 2. I can literally copy that. I can just paste it there, right? So now I've got a week 2 process. I can do week number 3, which is again, remember guys, we're tracking every single week, aren't we, right? And then I can do week number 4. So now I've built a solid process to understand. Look guys, by the way, this is the basic format. I can spend more time adding, removing certain bits, but this will give me an indication of what your business has been doing, how it's been doing, where the booking's coming from, but also it helps me measure what's happening right now in your business. I can turn around and say, actually, if you've had zero amount on these platforms for 2 consistent weeks, then it's telling me something about your business. So guys, pretty simple way to grow your revenue tracker, but also I can definitely 100% confirm this with you that if you learn to track this on a weekly basis, you can see how you've now started to measure on the tracker that we built. If you've had consistent 0 from referrals or extension, there's certain things that you can put in place, right? So for example, referrals, maybe you're not registered with other people, or maybe you're not speaking to people in your investment area. So that's an action plan you can take straight away. Let's say you are not getting extension often, you asking every single guest without fail 2 days prior to them checking out? Are you looking to extend? Are you coming back? Right, all of this question can be structured and automated in your system based on the fact that's gone through your business and what's happened within that revenue streams of ways you're getting those bookings in. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video so far. And I thought, do you know what, as I build this tracker, what I'm going to do is on the comment, I'm going to leave a link for that specific tracker that I've already built as a part of a little gift. And please, I would highly recommend you save that, download that in as a part of your ops and sales, and hopefully this will help you track your business well. Obviously, please go and modify it. You might have to download it first and re-upload it and do all the changes, but this will give you a good framework around what you can achieve while revenue tracking. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching another Grow Your BNB video. I have done tons of videos, especially my client interviews recently has been amazing. People like Matt and Jamie, Matt being my client, went from like 0 to 20 units in less than 100 days as a co-host and a management company. Really great story. Definitely go and have a look into that. I've got Ryan and Anderson, again, solid entrepreneurs, great scaling of the business over the 3 years, like management, rent to rent, and really kind of taking advantage of what we're talking about today, right? Understanding the revenue generating and actually tracking it and making decision based on that. So yeah, make sure you hit that like, subscribe and share, and I'll be back with another video soon.